You ever set an ambitious goal, wake up early, hit the gym, start that side hustle, and by lunch, you're slumped on the couch, scrolling TikTok like it's your full-time job? Motivation felt so real when you made the plan. So where did it go? We treat motivation like it's this grind-set cheat code, like one viral podcast, one cold plunge, one no-excuses reel away from unlocking beast mode. You get the dopamine rush, the vision board high, and then reality hits like a snooze button. But here's the twist. Motivation is a scam. It's emotional Red Bull. It spikes, it crashes, and your brain, it's over it. So if motivation's not the answer, what is? Turns out, the real engine behind getting stuff done isn't hype, it's borderline boring. No flex, no fire, just systems that actually move the needle. Most people think motivation is the key to getting things done. Wake up inspired, crush your to-do list, maybe post about it with a hashtag like #RiseAndGrind, but in reality, motivation is the guy who shows up late, talks big, and bails the second things get hard. Psychology backs this up. Motivation isn't a reliable predictor of action. Studies show that people who wait to feel ready rarely follow through. Why? Because your brain's wired to chase short-term rewards. It doesn't care about future you with the six-pack and startup, it cares about now you, comfy and scrolling. But the real trick is how motivation feels like momentum. You map out your perfect week, buy the supplements, reorganize your desk, and somehow trick your brain into thinking you've already made progress. That's not productivity, that's procrastination wearing a fitness tracker. And the more you chase that dopamine hit, the more your brain learns only act when it feels good. So how about you flip the script? Turns out, the people who actually get stuff done don't wait to feel motivated. They act first and let identity catch up. That shift is what powers long-term behavioral change. But here's where it gets really interesting. That act-first approach isn't just practical, it's neurological. Because once you understand how identity-based habits reshape your brain's reward system, you'll stop chasing hype and start building something way more powerful: consistency. Let's peel back your brain like a psychology onion. Messy, layered, and guaranteed to make you cry a little. At the center of this whole motivation problem is something called temporal discounting. Your brain gives more value to rewards you can get now than ones you'll get later, which is why finishing a spreadsheet sounds unbearable compared to watching a what I eat in a day video at 2x speed. Back in caveman days, this made sense. You hunted, you ate. Delayed gratification meant starvation. But today, that same brain wiring turns long-term goals into optional side quests, while short-term dopamine becomes your default setting. Here's the shift. Your brain doesn't just respond to rewards, it responds to identity, who you think you are. This is the foundation of identity-based habits. You don't build discipline by forcing yourself to do things. You build it by proving to yourself repeatedly, "This is who I am." Say, "I'm a runner," not "I'm trying to run." Every jog, a vote. Every rep, a receipt. Your brain keeps score. And the more consistent the signals, the more your identity adapts to match. Then there's implementation intentions, basically preloaded plans. You don't say, "I'll get to it." You say, "At 7 p.m., I'll write for 15 minutes at my desk." The when, where, and how are already baked in. This works because your brain hates open loops. It wants clarity, instructions, a route with zero U-turns. So when you combine identity, clear clues, and low-friction actions, you don't need motivation. You've built something better: automaticity. You're not pushing yourself every day. You're just being who you already believe you are. It works, and it works without hype. And yet, most people still default to chasing motivation over and over again, not because this system doesn't work, but because there's something deeper going on, something about how we want change to feel, and that's where it gets psychological. So, why do we keep chasing motivation, even when we know it doesn't work? Because we're not just chasing results, we're chasing feelings. Motivation gives us a story. It says change should feel epic, cinematic, like a training montage, where your flaws burn off in a blaze of discipline and protein powder. But real change feels like flossing, repetitive, quiet, unimpressive. We crave intensity, but our brains run on consistency. And here's the irony: the more you expect motivation to carry you, the less equipped you are to move without it. It becomes the emotional permission slip you think you need to start. That's the mental trap. The solution? Flip the hierarchy. Don't wait to feel like doing the thing. Do the thing, then let the feeling follow. Because every time you act without hype, Your brain logs it, it updates your story, and little by little, you become the kind of person who shows up regardless of mood. Not motivated, just consistent. Not inspired, just reliable. And that version of you is unstoppable. Not because you feel powerful, but because you acted when it didn't feel easy. So if you're tired of riding the motivation roller coaster, get off the ride. Build systems. Start small. Prove it to yourself on repeat. And stop chasing the spark. Because the people who get things done don't wait for the spark, they become the fire. Subscribe. Brain said so.